Tonight's story was sent to us by a man who asked us to hide his real identity. For this story, we will call him Michael R. Turner. Michael was a long-haul truck driver from Barstow, California, USA. He said what you are about to hear is not fiction, not a creepypasta, but something that happened to him on a real American road. His final message ended with one sentence: "The road doesn't kill you immediately. It lets you leave, and then it follows you back." Route 66 is often called the Mother Road. It cuts through America like a scar, stretching from Chicago to California. Millions have driven it. Families, tourists, truck drivers. But deep inside the Mojave Desert, there is a stretch of Route 66 locals avoid after sunset. No gas stations, no motels, no phone signal, just asphalt, sand, and silence. They call that stretch the Whistling Mile because at night, when the wind moves just right, you hear a sound. Not screaming, not crying. A long, hollow whistling sound, like someone calling you without using words. Michael had been driving trucks for over 20 years. He had driven through snowstorms, hurricanes, and dead quiet deserts at 3 in the morning. He didn't believe in ghosts. Fear to him was just exhaustion. That night, at exactly 12:43 a.m., he was hauling cargo westbound through the Mojave Desert. The desert was unnaturally calm. No wind, no animals, only the hum of the engine and the glow of the dashboard. Then the radio crackled. A long whistling sound slid through the static. Michael turned the radio off. The sound didn't stop. It wasn't coming from the speakers. It was coming from outside. The headlights caught movement ahead. A man stood in the middle of Route 66, completely still. As Michael slowed down, he noticed the man was wearing old-fashioned clothing, something from the 1950s. Out there, in the middle of nowhere, it made no sense. Michael rolled down the window and shouted, asking if he was okay. The man slowly lifted his head. He had no eyes, just 2 dark, empty holes. And when he opened his mouth, the whistling came from him. Not a sound made by lips, but something deeper, like air moving through something hollow. Michael slammed the accelerator and drove. But when he checked the rearview mirror, the man was still there. He wasn't running. He wasn't walking. He was floating, inches above the road, matching the truck's speed perfectly. Then the radio turned on by itself. A distorted news broadcast played. It talked about a 1957 accident on Route 66 where 14 people died. Witnesses reported hearing a strange whistling sound before the crash. The radio cut to silence, and the whistling started again. This time, inside the truck, the air turned cold. The smell of dust, burnt rubber, and old metal filled the cab. Michael turned his head toward the back seat. The man was sitting there, smiling. His mouth was stretched too wide. Black liquid dripped from the empty eye sockets. He leaned forward and whispered, "You stopped for me. Now the road knows you." Michael doesn't remember what happened next. He woke up at sunrise. The truck was parked on the side of Route 66. The engine was cold. The clock on the dashboard blinked 12:43 a.m. Scratched into the asphalt beside the truck was a strange curved symbol, shaped like a mouth frozen mid-whistle. Michael finished his route and went home to Barstow. He didn't tell anyone, but that night, he heard the whistling again, faint, distant, inside his house. Over the next few nights, radios turned on by themselves. Old accident reports played through static. He began researching Route 66 and discovered the truth. In 1957, a tour bus broke down on that exact mile. A local mechanic stopped to help. 14 people vanished after the crash. No bodies were ever found. The mechanic was never identified. Locals only called him one thing: the Whistler. According to desert folklore, the Whistler was claimed by the road itself. Now he appears to those who stop when they hear the sound. If you keep driving, you live. If you stop, the road marks you, and it follows you home. On the 8th night, at exactly 12:43 a.m., there was a knock on Michael's door. 3 slow knocks. The smell of hot asphalt filled the house. When Michael opened the door, the man stood under the porch light. The same hollow eyes, the same cracked skin, like dry desert ground. The man smiled and said, "You left the road, but the road never left you." 3 days later, Michael vanished. His house was found empty. No signs of struggle, only a trail of sand across the floor. His truck was discovered days later, parked on Route 66. The radio was on, and the whistling was playing. Locals say if you drive that stretch of Route 66 at night and hear a whistling sound, do not stop, do not listen, because the road is always looking for someone new to carry its voice. If you enjoyed this true American horror story, make sure to subscribe to our channel and keep notifications on. More stories are coming, and the next one might sound uncomfortably close.